Have you ever paused mid-step, wondering why your legs feel like they're letting you down? Or found yourself skipping that evening walk because your knees just won't cooperate? Dr. Michael Rivera, a renowned aging expert from UCLA Medical Center, hears this all the time. With over 20 years studying how seniors stay mobile, he's found something eye-opening. By age 65, nearly half of us notice our legs losing their old spark. But here's the twist most people miss. It's not just getting old. Dr. Rivera recently told us about Tom, a 72-year-old former mechanic who thought his days tinkering in the garage were over because of shaky legs. After just 6 weeks on Dr. Rivera's plan, Tom was back under the hood, wrench in hand. The trick: 5 everyday foods you probably already own. Foods that can rebuild your leg strength, steady your stride, and keep you moving without fancy gadgets or gym memberships. Before we dive into Dr. Rivera's surprising finds, tell us in the comments, what's one thing you've stopped doing because your legs feel weaker? And if you're hungry for more tips to stay active in your golden years, smash that like button and subscribe. Now, let's unpack why your legs seem to betray you first, and how to fight back. Dr. Rivera's latest work with Stanford in 2025 reveals something wild: leg strength starts slipping as early as your late 40s. Way before you notice. For seniors, this isn't just about creaky joints, it's about holding on to the freedom to chase grandkids or stroll the farmer's market. Picture your legs as the roots of a tree. When the roots weaken, the whole tree wobbles. Dr. Rivera says we lose about 1 to 3% of our leg muscle power yearly after 50. Thanks to sarcopenia. It's sneaky. Maybe you're leaning harder on the shopping cart or skipping the second floor unless you have to. Take Linda Hayes, a 69-year-old librarian from Oregon. I used to shelve books all day, she says. Then I started dreading the ladder. My legs felt like jelly. Linda's story hits home for so many who quietly scale back their lives. The signs creep up: a wobble when you stand, a hesitation before stepping off a curb, or that moment you realize you're avoiding uneven ground. These aren't just quirks. They're your legs whispering for help. But here's the good news Dr. Rivera swears by: you can turn it around. Even in your 70s. It's less about age and more about what you feed your body. Nutrition, not just exercise, is the hidden key to keeping your legs loyal. And Linda's proof: after tweaking her meals, she's back to climbing ladders like it's nothing. Curious how? Let's reveal the 5 foods Dr. Rivera calls his leg loyalty trio. Starting with one you might already love. 1. Eggs, the Leg Powerhouse. Kicking off Dr. Michael Rivera's lineup of leg-saving foods is a humble breakfast hero: eggs. If this little nugget of info is lighting a spark of hope for you, type eggs in the comments below. We'd love to know you're with us. Dr. Rivera, a seasoned aging expert from UCLA Medical Center, has dug deep into what keeps seniors moving. And his research shines a spotlight on eggs as a true powerhouse. Why? They're brimming with 2 heavy hitters for leg strength: high-quality protein and choline. The protein works like a repair crew, patching up muscle fibers that wear down with age, while choline acts like a signal booster, keeping nerve impulses zipping to your legs so they respond when you need them most. It's a dynamic duo that's hard to beat. A 2024 study out of Johns Hopkins backs this up with some eye-opening numbers. Seniors who enjoyed eggs 3 times a week showed a whopping 25% improvement in leg stability compared to those who passed them by. That's not just a stat. It's a game changer for anyone wanting to stay steady on their feet. Take James Carter, a 71-year-old gardener from Georgia, who stumbled onto this truth almost by accident. I always figured eggs were just for bulking up kids, he says with a chuckle, recalling how he used to dismiss them as a young man's food. But then I started scrambling a couple every morning, and something shifted. My legs stopped buckling when I knelt down to weed. Picture that, A man who'd spent decades coaxing roses to bloom was suddenly dreading his own garden because his legs couldn't keep up. Yet, in just 2 months of adding eggs to his routine, James turned it all around. He didn't just get back to tending his flowers. He went on to snag best roses at the county fair, a ribbon he proudly pinned up in his shed. That's the kind of turnaround eggs can spark. And it's not some fluke. It's science and nutrition teaming up to give legs a second wind. Now, you might be sitting there thinking, but what about cholesterol? Isn't that a problem? Dr. Rivera's quick to wave off that worry. He points out that modern science has cracked that old myth wide open. Studies now show 2 eggs a day are perfectly golden for most people. No heart risk red flags in sight. And the best part? Eggs won't break the bank or your schedule. A dozen costs less than $3 at most stores. Pennies per serving when you think about it. They're versatile. 2. Boil a batch for quick snacks you can grab on the go. Fry them up with a handful of veggies for a hearty lunch. Or whip together an omelette with whatever leftovers are lingering in your fridge from last night's dinner. Dr. Rivera's got a slick tip for busy mornings: pop them in a muffin tin with some spinach. Bake them up. And you've got grab-and-go bites that deliver leg-boosting goodness with zero fuss. It's a big payoff for almost no effort. Just the way James likes it. So, what's your favorite egg trick? Drop it in the comments below. James is hooked on his pepper and onion scramble and swears it's the secret sauce behind his prize-winning roses. Eggs are just the start, though. Stick around. Because next up is a food you might be overlooking that's quietly rescuing legs all over the place. 2. Nuts, the Tiny Leg Lifesavers. Dr. Michael Rivera's second gem in his lineup of leg-strengthening foods might already be sitting in your pantry, waiting to work its magic: nuts. If you're still hanging with us on this journey to stronger legs, type nuts in the comments. We'd love to see you're along for the ride. Almonds, walnuts, peanuts. Dr. Rivera dubs them bite-sized leg savers. And for good reason. These little powerhouses are packed with healthy fats and vitamin E. A combo that's like a secret weapon for keeping your legs in the game. The fats act like a soothing balm, lubricating your joints so they move smoother, while vitamin E steps in as a guardian, fighting off the muscle breakdown that creeps in with age. It's a 1-2 punch that's backed by solid science. A study from Tufts University found that seniors who munched on a handful of nuts every day saw their leg muscles grow 35% stronger after 6 months. That's not just a number. It's the difference between wobbly steps and a confident stride. Susan Kim, a 74-year-old painter from New Mexico, is living proof of this nutty magic. My legs used to ache something fierce after standing to paint, she recalls, her voice tinged with the memory of those tough days. She'd set up her easel, brush in hand, only to find herself cutting her sessions short because her legs couldn't take it. Then I started eating a handful of almonds every day. And now I'm back at my easel for hours, she says, a spark of pride in her tone. In fact, Susan didn't just reclaim her painting time. She went all the way, hosting a gallery show to display her vibrant landscapes. A feat she credits entirely to those tiny leg savers. It's the kind of story that makes you want to raid your kitchen right now, isn't it? And here's the kicker: you don't need to splurge to make it happen. Sure, nuts can seem pricey at first glance, but Dr. Rivera's got the scoop on keeping it affordable. Buy them in bulk at a warehouse store, or snag store brand peanuts. Those cost mere pennies per serving. You're getting all that leg boosting goodness without breaking the bank. So how do you work nuts into your day? The options are as easy as they are delicious. Toss a handful into your morning oatmeal for a crunchy twist. Blend them into a smoothie for a creamy boost. Or just grab them straight from the bag when you need a quick pick-me-up. Dr. Rivera's got a clever hack to elevate the experience: toast them lightly in a dry pan. No oil needed. And watch the flavor pop. Susan's hooked on her own twist. She sprinkles a dash of cinnamon over her almonds, turning a simple snack into a treat that keeps her legs humming. It's a small change that's paid off big, letting her stand tall while she paints those desert sunsets she's known for. And the beauty of nuts? They're portable. No cooking required. Just pure, simple fuel for your legs. How do you eat your nuts? Drop your go-to in the comments below. Your idea might just ignite someone else's leg comeback. And Susan's all ears for new inspiration. Nuts are quietly saving legs everywhere. But our next food is a total game changer you might even grow in your own backyard. Stay tuned. 3. Beans, the leg anchor. Rounding out Dr. Michael Rivera's trio of leg-strengthening superstars is a food so humble yet mighty it deserves a standing ovation: beans. If this is striking a chord with you, type beans below. We're thrilled you're loving this ride. Black beans, lentils, chickpeas. Dr. Rivera, the UCLA aging expert, calls them leg anchors for a reason you'll wish you'd known sooner. These hearty little heroes are loaded with fiber and plant-based protein. A combo that steadies your legs like roots anchoring a tree in a storm. The fiber keeps your energy flowing smooth and steady. No crashes or fades. While the protein swoops in like a construction crew, rebuilding the muscle that age keeps chipping away at. It's a partnership that's pure gold for seniors. And the proof's in the numbers. A 2025 study from the American Geriatrics Society found that folks over 65 who ate beans 4 times a week saw their leg endurance skyrocket by 40%. That's not just a boost. It's the kind of staying power that keeps you moving when others are ready to call it a day. Robert Lee, a 70-year-old cyclist from Colorado, felt this transformation pedal by pedal. I was slowing down on hills, he admits, his voice carrying the weight of those frustrating rides where he'd watch his group pull ahead. His legs, once reliable as the bike beneath him, started faltering, leaving him trailing behind instead of leading the pack like he used to. Then beans brought my legs back. I'm pedaling stronger than ever, he says now, a grin breaking through as he recalls the shift. It took just 3 months for Robert to go from lagging at the back to powering up front, setting the pace for his cycling crew on those winding mountain trails. How'd he do it? He leaned into beans, and they delivered. What's wild is how affordable this leg-saving trick is. Canned beans clock in at under $1 a pop, and dried ones are even cheaper. Practically dirt cheap for the punch they pack. Robert didn't need a fancy overhaul. Just a simple swap that turned his rides around. And the ways to enjoy beans? They're as versatile as they are heroic. Simmer a pot of lentils for a cozy soup that warms you from the inside out. Mash up chickpeas into a creamy spread for your toast. Or toss black beans into a salad for a hearty kick. Dr. Rivera's got a favorite trick up his sleeve. Roast chickpeas with a sprinkle of spices until they're crunchy, turning them into a treat you can't stop snacking on. Robert, though, is hooked on his chili recipe. Extra beans, extra power, he says, stirring in a double dose to fuel those hill climbs. It's not just food. It's fuel that's got him leading the pack again. Legs steady and strong. Cheap, easy, and effective. Beans are the kind of everyday miracle that doesn't demand a big budget or a culinary degree. Just a willingness to give them a shot. So, where's your bean love at? Share it below. Robert's dying to hear your twists on this leg anchoring wonder. Whether it's a soup, a dip, or a secret family recipe, these 3 foods, eggs, nuts, and now beans, are your legs' new best friends. Each bringing something special to the table. Stick with us for the wrap-up, where we'll tie it all together and set you on the path to stronger, steadier steps. 4. Oats, the Leg Energizer. Next in Dr. Michael Rivera's arsenal of leg-strengthening wonders is a morning classic that's been hiding in plain sight: oats. If this is getting your engines revving, type oats in the comments. We're pumped to know you're fired up. Dr. Rivera, the UCLA aging guru, has zeroed in on oats as a bona fide leg energizer. And his studies show why they're a senior's secret weapon. These unassuming grains are packed to the brim with complex carbohydrates and B vitamins. A duo that's like rocket fuel for your lower half. The carbs deliver a slow, steady burn, keeping your muscles powered up for the long haul. Think hours, not minutes. While those B vitamins work behind the scenes, helping your body convert every bite into usable energy your legs can tap into. It's not just theory, either. A 2024 University of Michigan study put it to the test and found that seniors who ate oats every day boosted their leg stamina by an impressive 30% in just 1 month. That's the kind of staying power that turns a shaky stumble into a strong, confident stride. Ellen Parker, a 68-year-old hiker from Vermont, learned this firsthand when her legs started failing her on the trails she loved. My legs used to quit halfway up the trail, she says, her voice carrying the frustration of those days when the summit felt a million miles away. She'd lace up her boots, ready to conquer the hills, only to find herself trailing behind, watching her hiking buddies disappear into the trees. Oats changed that. I'm summiting again. She beams now, her pride as clear as the mountain air. In just 6 weeks, Ellen went from lagging at the back of her hiking club to leading the charge. All thanks to a simple bowl of oatmeal. It wasn't some complicated fix, just a daily dose of oats that turned her legs from quitters to champions. And here's the beauty of it, oats are as cheap and simple as it gets. A canister costs under $2 at any grocery store and lasts for weeks, making it a budget-friendly powerhouse that doesn't demand a big investment. So how do you bring oats into your life? The possibilities are endless and effortless. Stir in a handful of fruit for a breakfast that's as tasty as it is leg-boosting. Bake them into muffins for a grab-and-go treat. Or mix them with yogurt for a quick snack that keeps you going. Dr. Rivera's got a pro tip that's pure genius: soak them overnight with a splash of milk and a sprinkle of nuts. And you've got a no-cook boost ready to roll by morning. No stove, no fuss, just fuel. Ellen swears by her own trail-tested combo. Blueberries stirred into her oats. A sweet and hearty mix she calls her trail fuel. It's what powers her up those Vermont peaks, step after steady step. And she's never looking back. Cheap, simple, and effective. Oats are the kind of everyday miracle that fits into any routine, delivering big results without asking for much in return. 5. Berries, the leg stabilizer. Dr. Michael Rivera's final pick in his lineup of leg-saving wonders might be tucked away in your freezer right now. Berries. If you're still hooked on this journey to stronger legs, type berries in the comments. We're thrilled you're with us. Strawberries, blueberries, raspberries. Dr. Rivera, the UCLA aging expert, calls them leg stabilizers. And once you hear why, you'll wonder how you ever overlooked them. These vibrant little gems are bursting with antioxidants and vitamin C. A duo that works like a dream team to keep your legs steady and strong. The antioxidants swoop in like tiny firefighters, battling the muscle-damaging inflammation that builds up over time, while vitamin C acts like a master builder, reinforcing the connective tissues, those ligaments and tendons, that hold your legs together. It's a perfect pairing, and the science backs it up. A 2025 study from the Cleveland Clinic found that seniors who ate berries 3 times a week improved their leg coordination by a solid 28%. That's not just a number. It's the difference between a shaky step and a smooth, confident move. Clara Diaz, a 73-year-old dancer from Arizona, felt this berry-powered shift in every twirl. My legs wobbled during salsa, she shares, her voice tinged with the memory of those offbeat moments when her rhythm slipped away. She'd step onto the dance floor, ready to sway to the music, only to find herself hesitating, her legs unsteady beneath her. Berries brought back my rhythm, she says now, her eyes lighting up as she recalls the turnaround. In just 2 months, Clara went from sitting out dances, watching from the sidelines, to to twirling across the floor at her granddaughter's wedding, stealing the show with every spin. It wasn't some fancy fix. Just a handful of berries that gave her legs the stability to match her passion. And here's the sweet part, you don't need to splurge to get in on this. Frozen berries are just as nutrient-packed as fresh, often costing less. Locking in that goodness at a fraction of the price. They're an affordable ticket to steadier legs, no matter your budget. So how do you weave berries into your day? It's as easy as it is delicious. Toss them into a smoothie for a burst of flavor that fuels your legs. Sprinkle them over your morning oats for a colorful boost. Or nibble them straight from the bag as a sweet treat that doubles as medicine. Dr. Rivera's got a trick that's pure brilliance. Blend them with yogurt for a leg-loving dessert that feels like an indulgence but works like a charm. Clara's got her own favorite. She swirls strawberries into her morning bowl. A simple ritual that's kept her dancing with grace and grit. It's not just about taste, it's about giving your legs the tools to stay steady. Whether you're salsa dancing or just strolling through life, affordable, accessible, and packed with power. Berries are the kind of everyday magic that doesn't demand much but delivers in spades. How do you enjoy your berries? Drop your style in the comments below. Clara's eager to swap ideas. Maybe pick up a new twist to keep her rhythm flowing. These foods, eggs, nuts, beans, oats, and now berries, are your legs' ticket to staying steady. Each one bringing its own special spark to the mix. Stick around as we wrap this up with a plan to keep you moving strong. Dr. Rivera's Powerhouse 5. Eggs for power. Nuts for resilience. Beans for endurance. Oats for energy. And berries for stability. Form a simple plan to reclaim your legs. Start small, an egg breakfast. A nutty snack. A bean-packed lunch. An oat-filled bowl. Or a berry boost at dinner. Every bite fortifies those roots, keeping you steady and strong. Share below. Which of these will you try first? Your story might inspire someone else to take that step. Subscribe for more secrets to thrive as you age. And here's to legs that won't let you down. See you next time with more ways to stay unstoppable.